Welcome to the longest running, the original, the only trilingual Filipino-Chinese lifestyle magazine show, Chinatown TV. I'm your host, 𝘾𝙝𝙤𝙖𝙣𝙜 您现在收看的是非中电视台。Last July 29, 2025, 𝘾𝙝𝙤𝙤 College became the vibrant stage for the 2025 Philippines-Fujian Central China TV Week. This unique cultural event brought to life the rich traditions of Central China as four esteemed inheritors of its intangible cultural heritage showcased their extraordinary talents. From the graceful performances of Gaojia Opera to the intricate artistry of bamboo and rattan weaving, the delicate beauty of lantern making, and the timeless craft of string puppetry. The event highlighted the depth and beauty of Chinese culture. Join us as we take you back to the highlights of this inspiring celebration that fostered deep cultural connections between Philippines and Fujian China.
衷心感谢各位百忙中这么短期的通知邀请你们来
茁壮成长，续写非中友好的新篇章。最后，预祝本次活动圆满成功，祝愿中国福建泉州与菲律宾的文化交流如此童话般尽情绽放，生生不息。谢谢大家。
Nanawagan si Chinese President Xi Jinping ng puspusang pagtutok upang matiyak ang kaligtasan ng mga mamamayan sa gitna ng matinding pagbaha at sakunang dulot ng malalakas na pag-ulan sa ilang bahagi ng China. Kabilang dito ang mabilisang search and rescue, maagang paglikas ng mga residente at mas mahigpit na pagpapatupad ng mga hakbang laban sa pagbaha upang maiwasan ang mas maraming manasawi. Iminungkahi ng Chinese Premier Li Qiang ang pagtatag ng isang pandaigdigang organisasyon para sa kooperasyon sa artificial intelligence. Ginawa niyang pahayag sa pagbubukas ng 2025 World AI Conference sa Shanghai kung saan binigyan diin niya na dapat maging international public good ang AI na makikinabang ang buong sangkatauhan. Ipinahayag ng nangungunang mambabatas ng China si Qiao Lejie ang kahandaang palalimin pa ang praktikal na kooperasyon sa Kyrgyzstan. Sa kanyang goodwill visit noong Hulyo 23 to 24, nakipagpulong siya sa Pangulo ng Kyrgyzstan na si 𝙭 𝙆𝙆 at iba pang opisyal upang talakayin ang pagpapalakas ng kalakalan, pamumuhunan at iba pang proyektong magpapatibay sa relasyon ng dalawang bansa. Nagkasundo ang China at US na palawigin ang suspensyon na ipinataw na 24% reciprocal tariffs at mga countermeasure ng China. Ibinahagi ito ng isang mataas na opisyal ng China matapos ang panibagong round ng economic at trade talks sa Stockholm, Sweden. Ayon sa isang tagapagsalita ng mainland China, ipinakita umano ng kabiguan ng recall vote laban sa mga oposisyong mambabata sa Taiwan na ang manipulasyon ng Democratic Progressive Party o DPP ay salungat sa kagustuhan ng mamamayan. Napanatili ng Kuomintang Party ang lahat ng kanilang 24 na upuan sa boto noong Hulyo 26. Isang makasaysayang tagumpay para sa industriya ng produktong pangkalusugan at pangangalaga sa balat ng Pilipinas. Kilala ang Bedded Balm Natural Skin Rescue bilang kauna-unahang tatak mula sa Pilipinas at Asia na nagwagi ng prestigyosong CBME New Star Award sa Shanghai, China. Pinuri ang produkto dahil sa kalidad, natural na sangkap at bisa nito para sa sensitibong balat ng mga sanggol at bata. Itinanghal ang dekalidad na kapeng Arabica mula sa Pilipinas sa prestigyosong coffee tasting sessions sa Ilford Cafe sa Guangzhou, China noong Hulyo 5, 2025. Umakot ng papuri ang kape mula Bundok Apo at Sultan Kudarat dahil sa natatangi nitong lasa, herbal, floral at tsokolate na pumukaw sa panlasa ng mga bisita at eksperto.
나하콩 만하무요니 요이장고수다화 아하콩 만라구요이 고도쇼신가가
千岛叶林摇星海港，地界化作树根生。雅加达万岭岸绽放墨香，流淌出点点星光。把优秀当成一种习惯，放筷子田种下不懈的春天。
Welcome back. You're watching Chinatown TV with me, your host, Isa Chong. China's rich cultural heritage spans over 5,000 years at sinasabing isa ito sa pinakamatanda at complex cultures in the world. With its unique customs, traditions, and practices, China has a lot to offer to those who are interested in exploring its fascinating culture. As we delve into the vast and diverse culture of China, ating kikilalanin ang kanilang mayamang kultura na nagpasalin-salin na sa mga henerasyon. From traditional Chinese medicine to the art of calligraphy, there is much to explore and learn about. Join us on our journey to uncover these fascinating aspects of Chinese culture and more as we delve deeper into the wonders of this ancient and diverse civilization. Eksklusibong panayam kasama ang Turing Award winner na si Robert 𝘾𝙝𝙤𝙤 sa 2025 International Congress of Basic Science sa Beijing. Ibinahagi niya ang kaniyang paghanga sa pangmatagalang suporta ng China sa basic science at AI, pati na rin ang kahalagahan ng pagtutulungan para sa ikauunlad ng agham para sa sangkatauhan.
Professor 𝘾𝙗𝙤, thank you so much for joining us on Leaders Talk. And first thing first, congratulations to you for winning the 2025 Basic Science Lifetime Award of ICBS. And I saw you this morning at the award ceremony when you deliver a speech. You get a little bit emotional. So what does this recognition mean to you, and does it hold any special significance, especially for this China trip?
It's an award for lifetime achievement, which is kind of different from an award for a specific accomplishment. So it gave me a chance to reflect on the long career I've had, and also to go back and think about the people who mentored me and supported me over the years, and to think about my parents who passed away not recently. So it was an emotional experience. And the set of awardees is so amazing. It's just it's a humbling experience to be in this group. You have Nobel Prize winners and Fields medalists, and it's the crème de la crème. It's quite amazing.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that winning an award was never the primary motivation of you, and you have described it as winning this award as a funny business. What do you mean by that?
There are many more great scientists than there are awards. So the process of being picked for an award, there's a certain randomness to it, yes? So I see an award like this one. This is recognition for me, but also for all my collaborators, and more so for my field. I think it's important that we step off our high horse and try to be a little bit humble about these things.
This year's meeting, brought together about 1,000 leading scientists from over 40 countries and regions. And they're going to talk about the same topic, which is advancing science for humanity. So here at the forum, what are some of the key messages do you plan to convey?
I think it's a method of doing research, actually. The kinds of questions I get from students all the time are not specific about problems, but how do I approach the whole idea of doing research? It's important to ask the right questions. It's important to be open. It's important to collaborate. It's important to share knowledge. It's important to read skeptically. Always question what you think is true and verify for yourself. So I think it's more about specific ideas. It's more about sharing the approach to research and trying to build a community. I think that's what this meeting is all about. Not only within each field, but between fields. There's an opportunity for rich interactions between mathematicians and physicists and computer scientists. I think the possibilities are amazing. Scientific research is getting more and more interdisciplinary, and this meeting is a representative of that fact.
That's also a representative of the scientific project between you and Professor John Hopcroft.
Yes.
And also, actually, you received the Turing Award jointly with Professor Hopcroft back in 1986 for the significant achievements in the design and analysis of algorithm and data structure. So, Professor, if you don't mind, could you please introduce to us and our viewers who might not be very familiar with this concept and how it is applied in real-world scenario?
And we started talking about depth-first search, which is really just maze traversal. So you start at a point and you want to walk through a maze and keep track of your path so you can back up and eventually get back to your starting point. But this is a fundamental algorithmic technique which you can use to explore any kind of graph. So we started studying the theory of this and applying it to various graph problems. So imagine that you have an electric circuit that you want to embed into a circuit board. You can't have wires crossing because then things short out. So you need to make connections between certain points so that no two wires are crossing. This is the planarity testing problem. Runs very fast in practice and is simple enough that people can actually implement it. So for that and other applications of depth-first search and various other things, eventually we got the Turing Award.
I've had the chance to talk to Professor Hopcroft about 2 years ago, and I remember there's one thing that's very clearly that which he shared with me, is that he's spoken with many Nobel Prize laureates and Turing Awards winners, and he asked them about, is there like a specific strategy that attributed to their success? The answer is actually no. It's more about pursuing what they really enjoy. How do you think educators or schools or educational institutions can cultivate this culture for students, for young people to really explore, discover, and then pursue their true passion?
I think schools have to give an opportunity to students to take some time and explore different subjects and worry less about grades than just curiosity-driven exploration. It's a challenge, you know. Very young kids are endlessly curious and exploring everything.
Right.
And somehow they get into the education system and they start getting evaluated, and then they get scared and they lose their creativity and their curiosity and so on. This is very destructive. I think we have to find ways to overcome this. I think it's very important to find your passion, but it also, to do anything great requires dedication. Solving mathematics is very harsh. It's either right or wrong. Yes, you either have a theorem or you don't have a theorem. The proof breaks. So you have to be willing to bang your head against the wall 99 times. Nothing works. The 100th time, a miracle occurs. And you can't do that without just being in love with the subject and the material. It has to be internally driven, I think, rather than externally driven for whatever, for money or fame. I do it for the beauty of the subject. It's beautiful to me. That's why I love doing it.
And I want to show you something. This might be, of course, very familiar to you. Four-color theorem.
Yes.
And also Martin Gardner is something that you loved when you were a kid, the column and everything. And this is something that you were trying to solve during high school. And there was this intensive debate about whether this proof qualifies as a human triumph. What's your take on that?
That's the proof of the four-color theorem. So I'm a computer scientist. I believe that the fact that computers were used in the process of solving it is a beautiful thing. And I mean, to a mathematician, perhaps the ideas in the proof are kind of elementary, not deep in mathematical terms, but I see them as beautiful algorithmic techniques. So I was thrilled.
Artificial intelligence wasn't your first option, Professor, because back then, many decades ago, you thought at that time that AI was too fuzzy and, in your own words, was not mathematical enough. So did you foresee the state of AI as what it is today back then?
Absolutely not. I think it was quite a surprise to everyone. I mean, this idea of neural nets has been around for quite a long time, but it required scaling up. You know, Moore's law eventually created the possibility to have neural nets do these very significant computations. And I think everybody was shocked at the progress in the last several years. The possibility of essentially absorbing all the information on the internet and synthesizing that, its ability to synthesize information in the entire human knowledge base and bring it back to me in ways that I can understand it and use it. This couldn't have been possible even 10 years ago, but it is possible now, and we have no idea what it will bring in the future.
What do you think could be the possible trend, the rising new trends in the near future?
I'm not an expert in this area, so I'm a little bit reluctant to comment, but I do have kind of an opinion. There are sort of two sides, right? There are the people who think that in a few years we will get to the singularity where these systems are smarter than human beings and they become smarter and smarter, and then what happens to us? And then there are the people who think AI has always gone in cycles, and now we're at the top of a hype cycle, and it's much higher than any previous one, and these systems are going to be extremely important. But maybe this idea of them becoming super intelligent, these systems becoming super intelligent, and I'm kind of more on that side. I think about the way children learn, right? They're endlessly curious and they're exploring things actively. And I don't think these systems yet have quite gotten to that point where they're exploring and curious and goal-oriented. I also think there's a big challenge in terms of the ethics and emotions and so on.
And China has experienced explosive surge in AI development, especially in recent years with the emergence of startups like DeepSeek. So how would you evaluate the role of China in this global AI landscape?
I think not just in AI, but in basic science across the board. China has decided to make this a priority, a long-run priority, and I think it's very impressive. Actually, the progress so far is incredible, and I look forward to seeing much more in the future.
What do you believe are some of the most, or some of the competitive advantages of China in improving and propelling the development of AI?
Consistent long-term support, a very strong education system in STEM subjects, plenty of eager young students who are interested in these things.
What do you think are the most distinctive features and characteristics of Chinese students?
I think they're incredibly well trained, so they come extremely well prepared. And what they need to learn is how to use that preparation to explore, to be curious, to come up with original ideas. And I think I'm just getting more and more impressed, actually, with the quality of Chinese students coming to the U.S. and ones that I have met other places.
President Xi has outlined a comprehensive vision about building China into a strong nation in science and technology by 2035. And in this, he also emphasized the need for a stronger sense of urgency and greater strides in innovation to seize the commanding heights in sci-tech computation and future development. How do you interpret the significance of this vision?
It's incredibly significant. I just hope in the process, basic science plays an important long-term role, and that has to be part of this whole endeavor. And I think that it is, actually, as represented by the support for this conference and for the organizations in Beijing that do basic science research.
And how do you understand the significance of this international gathering?
We're trying to improve the state of everyone on the planet. We have incredible planetary threats these days. If we're going to solve these problems, we have to solve them together. And speaking personally, I mean, in my own research, I just love to work with people. I'm just as happy if someone else solves a problem, because then I get to understand it as if I solved the problem myself. That's maybe a naive point of view, but...
It's not, it's definitely not. Yes, maybe that's the nature of everything. We need cooperation, international cooperation as well.
I think cooperation is very important.
And let's talk about something maybe is your favorite, algorithms. 𝙁 algorithm, which you developed, actually revolutionized social network analysis and web search. So what were your initial goals when establishing such algorithm?
Understanding the mathematics of it, actually. I was always fascinated by puzzles as a kid, and these are just amazing puzzles, but it turns out that you can actually use solutions to these things to run algorithms on computers and solve real-world problems.
And you have characterized good algorithm as simple, fast, beautiful, and analyzable. Well, maybe it's a little bit easier to understand fast, simple, etc. But what do you mean by beautiful algorithm? What are some of the factors that you believe are aesthetically appealing to you in terms of those data structures?
Now, that's a hard question. Art is in the eye of the beholder, right? I think the essence of a good algorithm is you're trying to solve a problem, so there's certain aspects of the data that you have to do computation on. If you can find an algorithm that looks at exactly the right part of the data and does exactly the right computation, no more, no less, that's an elegant algorithm, especially if it uses some deep ideas.
And you have encountered many stimulating teachers along the way. For instance, Mr. Wall, you also mentioned him this morning.
Yes.
It was your 8th grade math teacher who sparked your great and serious interest in math. So, Professor 𝙁, transitioning from being influenced by those stimulating great teachers to now being one yourself, what are some of the lessons that you have drawn from experience and you're now trying to bring forward to your students?
Maintain high standards, look on both sides of a problem, read skeptically. The best problems are the ones you discover for yourself. So elegance, use as few words as possible. Make things as simple as possible. Explore the design space. Don't settle for the first solution, but seek this idea, this hard to define idea of elegance, simple and deep.
And beautiful.
And I try to, yes, and beautiful. I mean, I try to, the best way to teach is to be a model. Now, you can't tell somebody a solution, but if you can demonstrate through action. So I try to demonstrate through what I do, the way I work, model a kind of behavior for my students.
What kind of model or role model are you trying to setting up for your students? What kind of, values and philosophy do you think are valuable to young scientists?
I think if you have a brain, you owe it to humanity to use it in constructive and useful ways to society. I think that's important. And I think collaboration also. Don't be selfish about your ideas. You will gain much more if you're open and sharing than if you try to hold back and do everything yourself. That's a beautiful thing about computer science. I find it much more pleasant to collaborate with people, to work on problems together. The human process is pleasant as well as solving the problem.
Which part of doing scientific research do you enjoy the most? And also because, as you said, this is a really tough journey. It's not only about true passion and love. There are many moments that you don't know whether there is an answer. There are many moments that really you want to give up, that you feel hopeless. At those defining moments, what kind of spirit that kept you go on?
I switched to another problem. See, there's a vast array of possible problems to work on. If you can't solve one problem, maybe you can solve another problem. So if you have a few of them to trade off against each other, that's one thing. Another thing is you get stuck, you leave the problem for weeks or months or sometimes years. Come back to it later. Maybe now you have a new insight. So the brain works in funny ways. You know, the process is as much unconscious as it is conscious, which makes it interesting.
When you were a child, when your mom took you to library, you have this great interest in reading science fiction novels.
Yes.
So how has those early exposure to science fiction books shaped your understanding of scientific research and advancement?
It interested me in science. It drove me to try to understand what we can accomplish with our minds. I mean, I wanted to be the first person on the Mars. This is still possible, but maybe not
it's
anymore.
Still possible.
I am not, I lost this ambition some time ago, but somehow I discovered mathematics and fell in love with the subject. It's,
right.
You know, it has the advantage that a statement is either a theorem or it's not a theorem. Everything is black and white, cut and dried, and it's incredibly complicated. So it appeals to my sense of puzzles and to my desire to see things resolved ultimately.
Do you still read science fiction now, or have you ever read any Chinese science fiction books? Like The Three-Body Problem? I don't know.
Yes, I have read The Three-Body Problem.
Really?
Actually, all 3 volumes. Fascinating.
I do like it.
I enjoyed it very much. It extrapolates way beyond, I think, how we understand the universe, but it's a wonderful book, I thought. Yes.
It gives you a different perspective.
Yes, yes. It takes you out of yourself, out of this world, and puts you into some other place.
Professor 𝘾𝙝𝙤𝙤, it was a great pleasure talking to you, and thank you for sharing those very insightful views. Greatly appreciated.
You're very well informed, if I may say so. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Isang makulay na pagsasayaw mula sa Snowland, inilunsad ng China Media Group ang Xitang Style Snowland Dance Power Global PK Competition. Isang pandaigdigang paligsahan na tampok ang mga orihinal na sayaw na hango sa mayamang kultura ng Xitang. Hindi lang ito labanan ng talento, kundi isang selebrasyon ng kultura at pagkakaibigan sa buong mundo.
You are still watching Chinatown TV. 您现在收看的是非中电视台。The barbering world was abuzz with excitement as the community came together to celebrate a major milestone. Pabling's Barbershop marked its 6th anniversary in style with its very first Barber Battle, held at Elements Eton Centris in Quezon City last July 21. It was a day filled with unmatched skill, creativity, and camaraderie as the country's finest barbers went head-to-head for the ultimate crown. Kaya naman sabay-sabay nating panoorin ang mga highlights ng espesyal na event na ito.
Pabling's Barbershop has become a trusted name for modern grooming services, offering quality cuts and styling for men. 6 years later, the brand celebrated this achievement by creating a platform that brings together barbers, enthusiasts, and loyal customers in one exciting event. The 6th anniversary celebration was not just about looking back at the journey but also showcasing the exceptional talent and artistry of Filipino barbers through the much-anticipated Barber Battle.
This Barber Battle actually aims to showcase great barbers in the Philippines and also to inspire probably the next generation ng mga barbero.
The Barber Battle brought out the best of the best, as skilled barbers went head-to-head showcasing their speed, precision, and creativity. Each round challenged their technical skills, artistry, and ability to deliver fresh, standout looks under pressure.
Our new path in our business right now is not to become the number one anymore. Though number one na kami in terms of numbers of branches, but we wanted to become the leading brand in terms of giving back to the industry, giving help, providing value, and uplifting the industry. I know that I just need to focus on the process, on the things that needs to be done, because I truly believe that you will never get an average or a poor result on a consistent, excellent execution.
The competition ended on a high note with the announcement of winners who stood out for their exceptional skills. Prizes, trophies, and bragging rights were awarded, but more importantly, everyone left inspired and motivated. As Pabling's Barbershop moves forward, its commitment to excellence and community remains stronger than ever. This 6th anniversary celebration and the first Barber Battle are only the beginning of more exciting opportunities for Filipino barbers nationwide.
You can follow in my Facebook page, Michael Padayaw. Ayan, ako mismo nakakausap nyo, ako mismo makaka-meeting nyo. And if you are looking for a business that is a necessity. Kasi ang haircut, sa ayaw at sa gusto ng mga kababayan natin, tutubo yan. Mawala ng internet, mawala ng social media, pangangailangan tayo ng tao, hanapin tayo. And bukod pa doon, we are backed up by actual numbers. Yung sales namin, totoo. Back up by real result. We are walking the talk. Pwede na ipakita sa inyo yun. And not only that, pati plan B, pinobide na namin para sigurado na mag-ROI kayo kapag nag-franchise kayo ng Pabling's Barbershop.
Max Beauty is becoming a nationwide beauty force. Talaga namang patuloy na nakikilala ang Max Beauty Advanced Aesthetics pagdating sa advanced skincare at beauty wellness. Noong July 26, opisyal nang binuksan ang bagong branch sa Biñan, Laguna, sa Jubilation Commercial Strip. Pinangunahan ito ng CEO at founder na si Maxine Misa.
Of course, I am always just very excited and happy. There's no other feeling but grateful also because it's just now that we are opening franchise branches, but we have really prepared for this months ago. So I'm just very grateful that a lot of people are really patronizing our eye aesthetic clinic, and because of that, we will continue to serve people.
Matapos tanghaling Most Outstanding Advanced Aesthetic Leader ng Maharlika Filipino Awards noong 2024, patuloy si Maxine at Max Beauty Advanced Aesthetics sa paghahatid ng advanced beauty services gaya ng anti-aging treatments, laser hair removal, facial treatments at body contouring. Bahagi rin ito ng kanilang aggressive expansion strategy sa pamamagitan ng franchising para mas mapalawak ang paghahatid ng kanilang signature aesthetic care.
Took me 4 full years to finally open our doors to our franchise partners. And to those who would want to franchise, just find us at 𝘋𝙝𝙤𝙣𝙗 and also, of course, I would want to invite everyone to support 𝘋𝙝𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤 branch.
𝘋𝙝𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤 will be one of the first eye aesthetics dito sa Biñan with medical procedures, and I think marami ang nag-aabang sa mga ganitong klase ng business na i-open dito.
Ang bagong branch sa Biñan ay perfect para sa naghahanap ng subok ng beauty services sa South Luzon.
Nakita namin talaga yung ganda ng negosyo at saka yung sistema na yung pagpapalakad ni Ms. Maxine sa 𝘋𝙝𝙤 and yung relationship niya with the franchisees at saka sa mga clients and all the stuff, even yung mga staff, sobrang maganda yung pakikisama niya, and isa yon sa mga talagang nagustuhan namin dito sa 𝘋𝙝𝙤.
Mahigit 20 branches pa ang planong buksan ng 𝘋𝙝𝙤 within the next 2 quarters of 2025. Tuloy-tuloy ang 𝘋𝙝𝙤 in making beauty accessible and sustainable.
Go visit 𝘋𝙝𝙤. They have a lot of branches right now, and for sure they'll be opening a lot more in the future. And I'm inviting you guys to check out their procedures. They have their Instagram social media accounts that you can check out for the prices and the services that they have. Kasi for sure, I can guarantee you guys that you'll get the quality with the prices that you will pay.
Chinatown TV 非中电视台。
有利东方旅游有限公司 Union Travel Incorporated。
Chinatown TV 非中电视台。
The Philippines-Fujian Quanzhou China TV Week event was held in 𝘋𝙤𝙤 College。菲律宾中国福建泉州电视周活动在菲律宾中正学院举行。
2025年7月29号下午，向海而兴视听共享2025菲律宾中国福建泉州电视周在菲律宾中正学院大礼堂隆重举行专场文化交流活动。此次活动由中国国家广电总局国际合作司指导，福建省广播电视局与泉州市对外文化交流协会主办，泉州市文化广电和旅游局、泉州广播电视台、非中电视台及菲律宾中正学院共同承办，吸引众多中非嘉宾莅临现场，场面热烈，气氛融洽。活动由泉州广播电视台节目主持人丁珊珊开场，非中电视台副台长庄琳琳介绍出席贵宾，然后播放暖场影片《泉州一日，非遗泉州》，带领观众从影像中领略千年古城泉州的文化底蕴与非遗魅力。非中电视台台长施玉娥在致辞中指出，菲律宾中国福建泉州电视周多年来已成为中非文化交流的重要平台，今年首次以走进校园的形式举办，更具深远意义。他特别感谢中国驻菲律宾大使馆对活动的持续支持，并盛赞国家级非遗传承人带来最真挚的艺术分享。他期望学生们能在互动中感受文化魅力，深化对中华文化的认同，携手传承中非友谊。中正学院校长叶启明博士在致辞中指出，泉州作为海上丝绸之路的重要起点，文化底蕴深厚，既有本次电视周的影视展映活动、非遗技艺与互动教学，让中正学院学生近距离体验提线木偶、花灯、竹藤编艺与高闸戏等传统艺术。他强调，菲律宾中正学院一向以弘扬中华文化为使命，期盼这些文化的种子在年轻学子心中生根发芽，续写非中友谊新篇章。活动现场特别邀请4位国家级非遗传承人登台亮相，包括花灯传承人陈丽玲老师、竹藤编艺师陈红平老师、 𝙁系名家王祖平老师，以及提线木偶艺术家陈映红老师。王祖平老师更几场演出公子丑，并邀请学生上台学习𝙁系的基本动作，现场掌声不断。陈丽玲老师与学生互动制作花灯，陈红平老师则介绍竹藤编技艺，引导学生动手体验。陈映红老师压轴演出小沙弥下山，并现场指导学生操作提线木偶，气氛热烈。莅临现场的贵宾包括中国驻菲律宾大使馆公参王玉磊、泉州广播电视台闽南文化传播中心副主任李夏日、非华商联总会副理事长施伟莲、非华各界联合会主席赵启平、菲律宾中国商会会长侯世炼、菲律宾福建总商会会长蒋小伟、非华泉州工会会长蔡永宁、非华联谊会名誉理事长杨思玉、名誉理事长蔡长玉、副理事长王明元、秘书长许丽荣、菲律宾华之后裔联谊会会长李向昭、约旦驻菲律宾名誉领事麦克洪、双总社会责任委员会共同主任许焕然、政务及立法联络委员会副主任林丽丽博士，以及中正学院执行副董事长郭树恒、副董事长李贤策、董事曾国祥、校友总会副会长卢垂顺与蔡清柱，以及有利东方旅游有限公司董事长许忠荣等。出席的媒体单位包括5家华报、马尼拉时报、国家电视台、PTV4 以及 GNN 频道。来宾们与老师们见证学生踊跃参与及投入传统技艺体验，欣然目睹活动，燃起了年轻学子们对中华文化的兴趣。
因为我们来到这里的话，我们发现说这里很多小孩子对我们的，比如说花灯，比如说竹藤编，还有我们的提线木偶跟𝙁系，还是非常感兴趣的。我觉得说，因为我们经常说，越是民族的，越是世界的。那泉州的这些非遗呢，在泉州很出名，在中国很出名。现在我们也尝试着向世界来推广，所以在世界上也受到了很多的认可。我觉得这些孩子们应该来说还是很喜欢我们中国的这些传统文化的。我们也非常欢迎菲律宾的朋友们到我们的适宜之城泉州来玩、来旅游、来体验。
Chinatown News 非中新闻台综合报道。
The Chinese embassy in the Philippines held a dinner reception in celebration of the 98th anniversary of the founding of the Chinese People's Liberation Army. 中国驻菲律宾使馆举行庆祝中国人民解放军建军98周年招待会。
据中国驻菲律宾使馆消息，2025年7月30号，中国驻菲律宾使馆举行庆祝中国人民解放军建军98周年招待会。中国驻菲律宾大使黄希濂及使馆主要外交官、非国家安全委员会副主任海瑞科、外交部部长助理王一仁、阿尔费雷斯众议院外委员会主席阿瑞纳斯、前文官长梅蒂亚尔蒂、总统中国事务特使许志军、严杰奇、司法部副部长卡蒂兹、国警监察长布莱、菲军外联局局长莫杰等军政高层和各界人士，有关国家驻菲使节和武官、中资机构、华侨华人和留学生代表等近400人参加。黄大使致辞表示，中国始终不渝走和平发展道路，坚定不移地奉行防御性国防政策。中国军队是维护国家安全和世界和平的坚定力量。今年是中国人民抗日战争暨世界反法西斯战争胜利80周年，中国将坚决捍卫2战胜利成果，维护以联合国为核心的国际体系。中国将坚定捍卫一个中国原则，任何企图挑衅中国核心利益的行为都将遭到坚决回击。面对动荡不安的国际形势，中国将积极推动构建人类命运共同体，落实全球发展倡议、全球安全倡议、全球文明倡议，促进世界繁荣进步。招待会还举行了维护世界和平的中国军队和纪念中国人民抗日战争暨世界反法西斯战争胜利80周年主题图片展。 播放了反映中国国防与军队建设成就的宣传片。来宾们对中国人民解放军建军98周年表示祝贺。仔细观看主题图片展，积极评价中国国防和军队现代化建设成果，高度赞赏中国军队为维护世界和平所做重要贡献。非中新闻台综合报道。
有利东方旅游有限公司 𝘾𝙞𝙣𝙞 Travel Incorporated。
The Changasha College held the stellar music recital. 菲律宾中正学院恒星演奏会璀璨登场，展现艺术教育丰硕成果。
2025年7月10号上午9时，菲律宾中正学院艺术及音乐中心在中正纪念堂举办恒星演奏会。礼堂里面座无虚席，来宾、家长和学生聚集在一起欣赏演出。叶启明校长在致欢迎词时强调了音乐教育对培养学子品格的重要性，并肯定了学生、家长与教师三方的共同努力与付出。他表示，活动不仅展现了该校在艺术教育上的卓越成就，更体现全人教育的核心理念。在司仪蔡美珠老师的主持下，演奏会正式揭开序幕。家长们纷纷拿起相机和手机，捕捉孩子在舞台上闪耀的珍贵瞬间。接着，表演者依序上台献艺，精彩节目一个接着一个演出。参加演出的学员表现优异，为观众带来了一场场悦耳、风格多元的音乐盛宴。其中包括钢琴演奏、小提琴演奏和独唱表演。婉转的歌声和悠扬的乐声在大礼堂回荡着，听得观众如痴如醉。演奏会在校长叶启明、发展研究部总主任李佩莹、艺术及音乐中心主任吴佩薇、表演者及他们的指导教师王彦文、叶秀妹、张米高、阿贝拉诺萨、莫丽娜及阿曼特合影留念，并颁发证书后落下了帷幕。此次恒星演奏会不仅展现了学员们的音乐才华与舞台魅力，也让家长与观众见证了孩子们的成长与进步。非中新闻台综合报道。
Lohayudian youth, Xinyan youth, Xinjiang youth, and Longhu youth jointly held the Basketball and Badminton Sports Fest 2025。旅非各校友会联合会青年委员会、非华新联工会青年委员会、菲律宾晋江同乡总会青年组、菲律宾晋江市龙虎镇联乡总会青年组联合举办篮球和羽毛球友谊赛。
为促进联谊、加强合作，提供华青友好竞技平台，旅非各校友会联合会青年委员会、非华新联工会青年委员会、菲律宾晋江同乡总会青年组、菲律宾晋江市龙虎镇联乡总会青年组于2025年7月20号上午，甲 MET Park 体育馆联合举办篮球和羽毛球友谊赛。当天上午，校友联轮值主席杨安雄、校友联主席洪山怡、新联总会轮值会长施玉荣、进总理事长姚金正、龙虎镇联乡总会副理事长施必昌暨4团体青年组主任以及100多位参赛球员齐聚一堂。 校友联轮值主席𝙀𝙗𝙞在致辞中表示，此次联合友谊赛不仅是一场体育盛事，更是4大社团之间紧密合作、情谊深厚的生动体现，也是各青年组成员展现活力、促进交流的宝贵平台，更是各位球友切磋技艺、增进情谊的坚实桥梁。新联总会轮值会长施玉荣在致辞时表示，这次联合友谊赛不但为非华青年运动员提供了一个交流合作、互相学习、提高技术的平台，同时借着这个机会，4个青年团体交流会晤，互相借鉴，彼此鼓励，为将来的广泛合作拓宽道路。建总理事长姚坚镇在讲话中表示，由4个友好社团的青年组联合主办的友谊赛很有意义。运动可以增强人的体质，也是每一位青少年朋友的共同爱好，尤其是篮球和羽毛球。希望通过运动比赛，提高青少年们的球技，增进彼此的友谊。龙虎镇联乡总会副理事长施必昌在致辞时，鼓励青年委员们携手合作，致力会晤，同时积极参加体育运动，以健全的体魄、充满阳光活力来服务人群。5位领导主持开球仪式后，2项球赛分2个场地同时进行，4个社团的运动员都展现了良好的素质和球技。他们在赛场上挥洒汗水，以球会友，不仅展现了卓越的运动风采，更以体育为纽带，深刻诠释了友谊第一、比赛第2的团队精神。在篮球场上，每一次精妙的传球配合，每一次果断的突破上篮，都是对团队合作精神的最好诠释。而在羽毛球场上，每一次迅捷的往前扑救，每一次精准的后场扣杀，都是对自我能力极限的勇敢挑战。经过一番激烈的角逐，各项赛事均名花有主，友谊赛在进行颁奖后圆满落幕。Chinatown News 非中新闻台综合报道。
The Filipino at Chino Magkaibigan Foundation turned over relief goods to Manila City District 2 Councilor Uno Lim for distribution to households affected by Typhoon Qiqing. 非中爱心基金向明市第2区市议员 Uno Lim 移交赈济物资，以分发给当地暴雨受灾家庭。
本国近日受到台风克里星、西南季风及低气压区共同影响，全国多地暴雨成灾，造成至少6人死亡、5人受伤，另有6人失踪，超过1500间房屋受损。非华商联总会理事长林荣辉于2025年7月23号下午4点，加商总大厦8楼董事室召集非中爱心基金各成员单位代表紧急会议，了解灾情事态发展和探讨赈济事宜。经过深入探讨以及应多个地方请求，会议一致通过大力推动赈灾活动，并配合各当地政府，以第一时间把赈济品送到各灾区，分发给受灾民众，缓解他们的燃眉之急。7月25号上午，基金在商总1楼展厅向马尼拉第2区市议员乌诺林移交500袋5公斤装大米，以及一批由商总名誉理事长施东方博士经营企业生产的 Happy 牌牙膏，和由副理事长王连桥经营企业生产的 GB 牌运动鞋，让其第一时间分发给其选区内的暴雨受灾家庭。乌诺林市议员代表受灾家庭对基金的善行义举表达由衷的谢意。移交仪式由商总董事兼福利主任洪文坛、社会责任共同主任许焕然、福利副主任庄连禄、社会责任理事蔡宗俊、福利聘任委员许辉钦、秘书长严长江博士、副秘书长陈光灿、办公厅主任林杨雪琴、非华各界副主席洪山怡、校友联主席王清涵、副主席柯顺庆、体总副理事长洪金明、张夏龙、同海总商会理事长黎明等代表华社主持。 Chinatown News 非中新闻台综合报道。
And that officially ends today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed what we've seen. Be sure to catch the next episode of Chinatown TV next week for more exciting content. 我们下个星期再见。